This is Occupy Maine TV on Portland's Community Television Network.
Welcome to this news conference put on by the Bring Our War Dollars Home campaign in Maine and Occupy Maine. Thank you. We've got a number of speakers and some entertainment, so I will get started right away. We'll begin with a young singer-songwriter, Morgana Warren Evans from Topsom High, and she's going to start with a song called Made in the USA.
We fought 1,000 battles, we've won 100 wars, and we've stripped our fill of freedom from those distant golden shores. And we've propped up many a dictator and made many a desperate fall. Is it worth the fight for oil? Was it worth the fight at all? Now the war clouds rage all around us, and the rain falls fast as tears. A few of us ride into battle, and the rest just cry out in fear. Can a country make valiant citizens who'll say no more killing today? Or is it just tear gas and bullets that are made in the USA? Now think of the wars that we've weathered, they said would make us free. When soldiers left their loved ones to go fight across the sea, and they swore that the cause was all noble, but all that this country can show are crumbling schools, roads, and bridges, and a glory that none of us know. What once was a struggling nation is now a great force at the top. We didn't just wait for our power, we sweated and worked our way up, but we have earned nothing but hatred. Our anger has taken its toll. Half of the world's lost their bodies, the other half's missing their souls. Now the war clouds rage all around us, and the rain falls fast as tears. A few of us ride into battle, and the rest just cry out in fear. Can a country make valiant citizens who'll say no more killing today? Or is it just tear gas and bullets that are made in the USA? So I wonder if there's a new future, a new world order to come, when there's trouble in other nations. We no longer reach for the guns, but we think of the wars of each decade and the people who died fighting them. And we rise up and speak truth to power We swear we'll fight never again, and we rise up and speak truth to power. We swear we'll fight never again.
Thank you all for being here today. My name is Regis Tremblay. I was born and raised in Waterville, lived a great deal of my life away, but returned back to the place where this is the way life should be. I'm retired now. I'm a filmmaker and currently a co-host and producer of the Occupy Maine TV show. We're on Portland's community access station channel CTN 5 if you're living in the Portland area, otherwise on YouTube. I have a son who's serving in the military, and in fact, he just landed a few hours ago this morning in Afghanistan. I wish that he wasn't there. I wish he were here. And I wish that the President would bring all of our troops back. But what we're here today to do is to exercise our First Amendment rights of free speech, peaceable assembly, and the redress of grievances to our government. And you know, it's really interesting. The Maine Constitution goes one step further than our federal Constitution. In Article 1, Section 2 of the Maine Constitution, it states, "All power is inherent in the people." All free governments are founded on their authority and instituted for their benefit. They have, therefore, an unalienable and indefeasible right to institute government and to alter, reform, or totally change the same when their safety and happiness require it. We're here today to tell this government that it is not serving the needs of the people of Maine. The safety of tens of thousands of our citizens is being threatened, and damn it, we're sure not very happy about it, are we? Specifically, we're all here today to protest the LePage budget that is part of an all-out assault on working families, unions, the elderly, children, the sick, and our environment. In other words, us, the 99%. This administration and the Republican-controlled legislature have joined a nationwide assault on our democracy and our First Amendment rights with a shadowy, ultra-right-wing group called ALEC. What is happening here in Maine is happening in Republican-controlled legislatures all across the country and in Congress. The attack on public and private unions, they disparage teachers and government workers. They attack the environment by rolling back environmental protections and the dissolution of LERC. They even want to privatize schools and prisons. And for what? More profit. Driven by greed and the need to increase profits, large corporations, thanks to the Supreme Court decisions granting them personhood, and the Citizens United decision allowing them to contribute unlimited and obscene amounts of money to politicians, have not only corrupted our elected officials, but have trumped our voices in the democratic process.
Disgraceful!
I find it really hard to believe how people in poor states like Maine can vote against their own best interests by supporting Tea Party candidates and right-wing conservatives who would deny them unemployment compensation, workers' compensation, health insurance through Maine Care, Social Security, Medicare, and other vital social services, and they work to destroy our unions and our right to organize. Several groups are represented here today. Code Pink, Bring Our War Dollars Home. There are environmental groups, a variety of advocates for preserving the social safety net. But hear me. One of the reasons we've been losing the battle on each of these fronts in the past is because we have been fighting on our own for a piece of the pie. From the perspective of elected officials, we are not only divided, but competing against each other. And unless and until we can come together as one community, recognizing who the real enemy is, we will continue to lose. It is not about getting our tiny piece of the pie at the government trough. The real fight must be waged against those who are destroying democracy and freedoms. And I call it the real axis of evil. Big money has created the unholy marriage of Congress, the Supreme Court, corporations, and our financial institutions. Over the past 40 years, the super wealthy and multinational corporations have been spending billions and billions of dollars influencing our elected officials in Congress and in our state legislatures. And the Supreme Court has made it all legal. We do not have a deficit problem nationally or here in Maine. There is plenty of money. The problem is that the 1% have been allowed to reap most of it. This is the economic disparity that all of us are complaining about. Since 1979, the wealthiest 1% have seen their income rise by 360%, while the average income for the rest of us has remained relatively flat. The Bush tax cuts and the two wars he waged, the first on a lie, will account for half of the public debt by the year 2019. Isn't there something wrong when Mitt Romney and Warren Buffett only pay 13% in taxes when you and I pay something like 25% or maybe more? Yes! I think there is. Last year, this governor passed the largest tax cut in Maine history, giving Maine's top income earners a tax cut of $2,905, compared to only $9 for the bottom 20%. And then the estate and corporate tax cuts further worsened the economic situation when LePage gave the richest 550 families in Maine an exemption at a cost of $51 million to the state. Yeah, boo. And many corporations will get tax breaks on their property taxes. Walmart, for example, will receive a $1 million tax break. I taped a press conference recently with Adam Lee, the chairman and president of Lee Auto Malls, in which he stated, "I don't understand why the governor would give people like me, who don't need a tax break, when most of Mainers are hurting." Now, he and other wealthy Mainers at this press conference called for a repeal of these tax breaks, which LePage granted to Maine's wealthiest last year, and they asked to be taxed fairly as a sensible and pain-free way of balancing the budget. Repealing those tax breaks and getting the wealthiest among us to pay their fair share would more than balance the budget. In fact, it would provide a surplus. Now, there's only one way to destroy the axis of evil, and that is by massive protests on the local and national levels targeting our elected officials. Susan Collins recently was quoted as saying that Congress's 9% approval rating was only a matter of perception. that the American people really didn't understand the workings of Congress. Really? Well, Olympia recently gave us an idea of how it runs. She quit. She said, it doesn't run. She said it's dysfunctional and ideologically polarized like never before. Now, if you or I got a 9% approval rating on our work performance, we get fired. While I'm encouraged by the growing movement of Occupy and groups like Bring Our War Dollars Home, I'm disheartened that here in our state, where Mainers have been under the same insidious and all-out assault on the 99%, that only a handful of people turn out to make our voices heard. The largest rally that I've attended to is right here in this hall a few months ago. There were more than 500 people. This place was packed, wall to wall, the stairs all the way to the top. On the evening, the night of LePage's State of the State address, about 130 people showed up outside for a candlelight vigil. It was really beautiful, but those numbers are insignificant. These numbers here today, while we're all grateful and we're passionate about being here, are not going to do it. There are only two things that will stop these enemies of the people. The first is this: be sure to vote. Now, I know a lot of people are saying both parties are corrupt. But if we hand the keys to the White House and Congress and of our own legislature and governorship to these people, they will finish off the middle class and completely destroy our economy.
Vote them out!
Second, as we Mainers turned out in droves to defeat the attempt to do away with same-day voting registration by 61% to 39%, we have got to come together in large numbers to protest these attacks on our democracy and our constitutional rights. And only if we come together as one and in large numbers will these people down the hall begin to listen. Thank you very much.